Hello and welcome, or should I say こんにちわとようこそ to Tokyo Station. Today we're climbing on board JR East's Saphir Odoriko, one of the newest and most luxurious limited express trains in Japan. What's it like to ride front row on one of Japan's most refined limited express trains? With clear views into the driver's cab and quiet private suites designed for comfort, the Saphir Odoriko offers a different kind of travel experience. Today we'll take a closer look as we ride from Tokyo down to the Izu Peninsula. Our journey begins here at Tokyo Station, the origin point for Japan's Shinkansen lines and the central station for the Tokyo metro area. Opened on December 20th of 1914, Tokyo Station has gone from a small 4-track station to one of the busiest in the world, with 22 tracks and over 4,000 scheduled trains daily. Tokyo Station serves as the origin point for the Tokaido, Tohoku, Joetsu, Hokuriku, Yamagata, and Akita Shinkansen lines. The high-speed network serves as the main backbone for transit throughout Japan, with trains carrying passengers at 300 kilometers an hour and beyond. We'll enter the station through the Marunouchi North entrance, and after passing under the beautiful domed atrium, we can scan through the ticket barriers and into the main station. Tokyo Station is a great place to enjoy the magic of Japan's railways. There's always trains coming and going, and when one leaves, another appears within a few minutes to take its place. About 30 minutes before departure, our train pulls into the station. This is the Saphir Odoriko, an elevated luxury limited express train connecting Tokyo with Izu Shimoda at the southern end of the Izu Peninsula. As is the case with many luxury limited express trains, the Saphir Odoriko is operated by an exclusive train type. Each service is operated by an E261 electric multiple unit designed specifically for the Saphir Odoriko. It's clear that our train is very popular, with many passengers taking photos with the train before boarding. We'll be traveling today in Car 1, the premium green car, in seat 1A, one of the 2 seats right at the very front of the train. Tickets on today's train between Tokyo and our destination of Atami cost 7,940 yen, or about $54. Row 1 provides an incredible view of the driver's cab and the tracks beyond, making the 2 seats here very exclusive and sought after. Now, we'll spend plenty of time here in the premium green car over the course of our journey, and with a few minutes to spare, let's see what else the Saphir Odoriko has to offer. Moving back into Car 2, we find a couple of bathrooms, which are of course in perfect condition, including a Japanese bidet. A hand washing station is also found in the hallway nearby. Car 2 is the first of 2 cars with private cabins. Cars 2 and 3 each hold 4 cabins and are reservable only at JR ticket offices or reserved seat ticket vending machines. Cabins are available for 4 or 6 people. This one is one of the 6-person cabins, and I gotta say, it's pretty sweet. We'll be back later on to take a more in-depth look at the cabins. Car 4 is the cafe car, the interior continuing the design themes of brown leather and dark wood. The menu on the Saphir Odoriko is quite limited, but unlike most trains in Japan, all of the food is prepared fresh on board, so it's bound to be delicious. Departure time is upon us. And returning to our seat, we see our train has been given the green light out of Tokyo. After performing his final checks, our engineer eases the throttle forward, and we begin our journey south to Atami. The Tokaido Shinkansen parallels our departure out of Tokyo, a JR N700A Shinkansen racing our train out of the city. The windows through the cab provide a fantastic view of the many tracks leading out of Tokyo. Time to turn our attention to the premium green car. The premium green car is the highest service level on the Saphir Odoriko and touts divided single seats with quilted leather upholstery and electric adjustability. Our front row seats offer plenty of legroom with just the dividing wall ahead of us. With no seat in front and large space between rows, tray tables have moved to the right armrest, as have the cup holders. The seat controls, of which there are many, are found on the left armrest. The control panel includes buttons for the over-the-shoulder reading light, backrest recline, and footrest extension. There's also 2 buttons to set the seat to max recline or restore it to upright. At maximum recline, the premium green seats are incredibly comfortable. They're very supportive and really add to the luxurious feel of the whole journey. Also helping in the comfort department are the individual seat dividers. Made of carbon fiber, the buckets wrap around the chair, isolating each passenger from the rest of the train. Oh, and these buckets can rotate to give passengers a better view out of the panoramic windows. The seats themselves are black quilted leather with thick cushioning all over. The quilted leather pattern gives them a real appearance of luxury, the bright blue carpet beneath tying land and sea together. The car layout is a little untraditional, with the aisle placed on the right side of the train. This aisle placement pushes both seats towards the left-hand windows, out of which all of the best views will be for the duration of our journey south. To aid in the enjoyment of the scenery, skylights are positioned above both sides of the train, allowing sunlight in and improved views out. With no overhead storage racks, no seat in front to store bags, and no space between seats, luggage storage is left in the hands of a single large luggage rack at the end of the car. It's not ideal for keeping an eye on personal belongings, but I've never had any issues with that while traveling in Japan. Premium green is an excellent way to travel on the Saphir Odoriko. The exclusive cabin, comfortable seats, and cab views make this already amazing journey extra special. From our amazing front row seats, we watch as our train cruises out of the Tokyo metro area, passing commuter trains left and right as we go. As mentioned before we departed Tokyo, cars 2 and 3 on the Saphir Odoriko include private rooms for groups of 4 and 6. Stepping inside, we slide the door shut for that extra bit of privacy. Each 4-person cabin is laid out with a central table surrounded by 4 leather chairs. The chairs, table, and really everything in this car is pushed to the left side of the train, focusing the passenger's attention towards the windows and the views outside. The chairs, while lacking armrests, are very deep and thick, the whole room appearing more akin to a cozy beach cabin than a train suite. Adding to the beach themes are the seashells, ocean pictures, and decorative sailboat on the forward-facing wall. 2 outlets and a USB port are built into the lamp beneath the decorations. The carpet in these suites bears a wave pattern, contrasting with the sandy shades found around the rest of the room. The 6-person suite is very similar to the 4, but with a smaller table and 4 seats facing the windows. And of course, it wouldn't be a private suite without private service. Passengers in cabins can order meals directly to their seats through the cabin attendant. Ticket prices vary depending on cabin size and passenger number. At maximum capacity, a 4-person cabin costs 41,040 yen, and a 6-person cabin costs 61,560 yen, both for the whole line to Izuku Shimoda. This equates to 10,260 yen per person, or about $70, which for a private cabin is a pretty good deal. I gotta say that while I love our premium green seats, the cabins really are an excellent way to travel. Now, if you're looking to travel on the Saphir Odoriko without shelling out the extra yen for premium green, then green class is for you. Laid out in a 2x1, the green car includes electrically reclining seats and plenty of space. While it's not as luxurious as the other ways to travel, it's still more than comfortable enough for the journey. It is worth noting that green car tickets cost 10,260 yen for the whole line, which is the same as a cabin when at max capacity. So if you're traveling in a group of 4 or 6, then consider looking into a green class cabin. Back at the front of the train, the Tokyo cityscape has thinned to a light suburb, but the train traffic has remained the same. We catch an outbound Yokosuka line train, eventually pacing it before it breaks off to make its stop in Ofuna. The tracks ahead show nothing but green lights, the straight rails below contrasting the oscillating catenary wires above. Our first sign of coastal running comes as we cross the Sagami River, the open ocean peeking out from behind the Torasuko Shonen Ohashi Bridge. As we head south, an Odoriko service heads north, the standard limited express variant of our luxury train. We're now well and truly into Japanese suburbia, the ocean beyond just visible over the many rooftops. Having left it back in Tokyo, we once again meet the Tokaido Shinkansen as we cross the Sakawa River. Trains on the Shinkansen will now be cruising at 177 miles per hour, or slowing for their arrival in Odawara. We're not traveling nearly as fast, and that's great, as it gives more time to enjoy the ocean views. The twisty coastal running means tight cuttings, tunnels, and bends, all surrounded by vibrant green foliage. Now, while I would have loved to stay on board and travel all the way to Izu Shimoda, scheduling constraints means our journey must end in Atami. The stop here is a longer one, which gives us some time to get a good look at the train which brought us here. The E261 is a sleek, striking train, its sapphire blue and white livery setting it apart from anything else on the rails. With its stop complete, the Saphir Odoriko powers up and pulls away from Atami Station. With our journey now at an end, it's time to bring today's video to a close. I hope you enjoyed our ride on the Saphir Odoriko and got to experience some of the luxury and majesty of Japan's railways. If you want to see the full journey from the driver's POV, then head on over to the second channel where I've uploaded the entire ride from Tokyo to Atami. Next week, we'll be in California for a ride on Amtrak's Texas Eagle. We'll travel from Los Angeles to Austin, passing through the southwestern United States' scenic desert plains. Anyways, if you're new around here, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. It's totally free and it really helps support the channel. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my loyal patrons and members. Y'all are amazing and your incredible generosity is, as always, greatly appreciated. If you too want your name in the video or just want to support the channel in more ways than one, then head on over to the links in the description below. But anyways, that's all I have for today. Thanks for riding with me, and I'll see you in the next one.